Hi guys, how are you? I just wanted to talk about this performance in this game by Chicago. I just unleashed a video. It was pretty crazy. It was like an El Presidor rant. It was a lot of fun. I know I'm gonna update this damn title, and call me on Skype if you want to talk about these games. I'm pissed off that the Eagles won today. I'll address the chat. I was down in New York with a couple of good guys, and I hope you guys can hear me. Mike, how are you, buddy? It was a fun weekend. It was crazy out there, and I give those guys credit, man. They have a lot of energy to do what they do, and Entertainer and Jet Central are great people. But about the games today, very interesting weekend today. As a Giants fan, like, I really wanted the Bears to win. The Eagles are the one team, that, I consider myself like a person that can put myself in other people's shoes, try to be a chameleon. I even like cheered on Dallas and, always a contrarian kind of person. And but the Eagles are that one team that kind of, that's really hard for me to put myself in their shoes. Just being around my family, everybody's an Eagles fan around here, and I just don't think that team's gonna die at all. I just think that this Eagles team, they're so frustrating, because you thought that the Cowboys eliminated them, then the Texans, had a chance to beat them, and then you were thinking that the Vikings were gonna take care of the Bears. When the Eagles beat the LA Rams, I thought it was nothing. I just thought it was a little, too good, too late. But this team never will die, man. That to have the field goal hit the upright, it's some kind of juju, freaking creepy ass shit going down in Philly, man. I think Nick Foles sold his soul to the devil, man. That preacher type of stuff, because you just don't see the type of shit that's going on with this Eagles team. And when a ball hits a crossbar like that twice, I mean, that's creepy. And that means that you're just cursed as an Eagles hater. And I just don't know if it's ever going to happen, man. I'm almost lost all hope, that the Eagles will ever lose again. This team is on some voodoo crazy stuff, man. Tom Brady and Bill are talented, though. This wasn't an 11-5 team, man. Yeah, I hate watching it. It's the most nauseating thing in the world, man. But if the Saints can kill the Eagles next week, it'll be palatable. I still love the Cowboys. That would be uncomfortable to have the Cowboys play the Eagles. But, Cowboys playing the Eagles, that would be uncomfortable. But I would love it. I would love if the Cowboys can beat the Eagles a third time in Jerry World. That would make me so happy. I love Dak. I love Zeke Elliott. I love those guys, man. They're a magical team. Chris Richard, the way they play and love one another, like they play and love for one another, They've been in this thing, the Tennessee game, everybody was writing them off. I wrote them off. I wrote off Dak Prescott. But he's good enough to win a Super Bowl, man. That quarterback is good enough. He carried that team with Amari Cooper. And, I was hoping that the Cowboys would get an opportunity to go to New Orleans, because, they beat Seattle. Nobody's impressed. If they beat New Orleans, the world will turn on its axis. Or, now they don't even play New Orleans. But if they beat the Rams are 7-point favorites. It'll be a shock to the system to see the Cowboys in there. Hey, Steven, how are you, pal? What's going on? Thanks so much for coming into the stream. That game today, oh my gosh, man. And of course, of course he made the kick before the ice. Of course he drilled that. Of course that would happen. Of course he would make that kick before the ice. Of course, he drilled that thing. That is the most frustrating thing in the world. If I were a kicker, I would never kick before the ice, or I'd hope the living daylights out of it, because that's the most heartbreaking loss ever, man. I mean, at least it didn't happen, later for Chicago. But this Bears team, I mean, that defense was freaking absurd. I mean, when are they going to get an opportunity like this again, the Bears? You know, Kirk Cousins, Mike Zimmer, all the dysfunction in Minnesota land with an offensive coordinator getting fired. The Vikings are a good team. The Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers essentially fired their coach. They're never going to have a bad season like that again in Green Bay with the greatest talented player that we've ever seen at the position. You have Allen Robinson. You spent all this money. You had the health. You had everybody be healthy. Your offensive line has a lot of older pieces. They somehow all gel together. You beat the Rams before. It's infuriating. And the Bears were just happy to be in that game. Like, they weren't pissed off at all. Like, they were just going through the motions. It was completely like seeing Andy Reid. It reminded me of that Kansas City game with Pittsburgh. That's what it reminded me of. Yeah, the Indianapolis Colts are freaking ridiculous. I give credit to people who said that they were a wonderful team, man. But the Colts are ridiculous, bro. They're a heck of a team. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat the Chiefs. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I mean, people are actually thinking that the Colts are going to win, but Vegas has it at 5.5. The money keeps going up. Mahomes is a different animal. Doug, how are you, buddy? We got the wish. We got Todd Bowles out of there. Thanks for coming into the stream, man. I appreciate you. You know, the Sam Darnold stuff, I know I'm over the top on Sam. I'm not going to say it again. It's annoying as crap, you know, to say that he's not going to do that well. You know, I'll root for the guy. I'll root for him to be successful. And if he doesn't do well, I'll just point it out. I've already made my point. It's so dumb reiterating it. Or I don't like to brag when, like, something goes awry. I would love to see Cowboys and maybe Kansas City. Like, I have to admit today, like the Chargers, you know, I kind of have this thing, you know, maybe it's always, I get upset or I get really offended sometimes with, like, oh my gosh, people say like Eli's better than Phil, so hello, who's calling me? Hey, welcome into Rover Sports. How are you? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Hey, what's up, Rover?
Hey, how are you? How you doing, pal?
Doing good, man. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of your channel.
Thank you so much. I mean, that means everything. I try to make it an entertaining product.
Oh, of course, man. Yeah, and I'm a huge. That's honestly why I watch, because of your you always talk about the Giants. So yeah, I like that. But I have a question. So do you think, like, now that I guess Justin Fields is gonna transfer to Ohio State, do you think maybe that will probably make Haskins declare?
I think that Dwayne Haskins should absolutely declare. I mean, I'm sure you remember Cardale Jones. Remember how great he was in the national championship game? When is Dwayne's stock going to be any higher? And then next year he has to compete against Tagovailoa. And also there's going to be other guys that are going to emerge from nowhere. Like Dwayne Haskins was a guy who emerged from nowhere. But remember that guy Jacob Eason at Georgia? He could even have a great year and declare next year. So Dwayne 1,000,000% should go, and he does like Ryan Day a lot, like the new coach there. But you bring up a great point about Justin Fields. I would absolutely bounce. Absolutely.
Yeah. But also, since the Giants have the 6th pick, do you think, let's say for example, Haskins gets drafted or whatever, and the Giants, you know, do you think the Giants should get Jonah Williams out of Alabama or something else?
I would kind of like something else. I think that's kind of a dry pick, an offensive lineman. I don't know if I'm sold on the guy Jonah Williams, to be honest. It's a great question. I like the pass rushers a lot more. Like, I love the kid from Kentucky, Josh Allen. I prefer him. I'd probably even prefer Devin White. And to tell you the truth, we could even trade back. And the safety from Alabama, Deontay Thompson, is unbelievable. He's a Hall of Fame prospect to me. So I would even be, I like those names better. What about you? I want to ask you the question. Do you want, if Dwayne Haskins gets picked before us, because it sounds like you're a Haskins guy, and I appreciate, I'm getting some calls here, I appreciate it. It seems like you're a Haskins guy. If Haskins is not there, do you sign Joe Flacco? Do you ride with Eli? Who do you draft? Who do you play at quarterback next year?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna have to ride with Eli because I mean he has 1 year left on his contract, so but if Haskins is there, I would get him, but if not, I'd rather prefer maybe better the defense because our defense, I don't know, I don't know. It just surprised me because I didn't think they would like be that bad. It kind of reminded me of like 2015 Giants, like they couldn't finish football games, and it's just I don't know.
Yeah, I still trust Pat Shurmur. I really do love drafting like a rookie quarterback and getting a quarterback dirt cheap because look at the teams that are left in the playoffs, right? You have Prescott. Mm-hmm. Prescott makes no money. Trubisky makes no money. I know that they just got eliminated. Jared Goff makes zero money. So that's exactly who you should take. Do you want to say your name, man? I really appreciated this call.
Oh yeah, my name's Derek Santiago, man. I can't believe I'm talking to you, man, because like I'm a huge fan, dude. I mean, it's just I don't know, man. I can honestly say, dude, that you're a football genius, and like. I don't know, man. I respect you, man.
Dude, I'm not. I'm just a guy who watches football in my basement, man. I can truly say that, dude. Like, I still, I don't want to get too personal, but I have so much learning to do with football and everything. I love watching the game. I just have such a passion for the sport of football, man. It's such an emotional thing, and I make videos out of my dang house and everything. So for you to say that is crazy. And you couldn't be a nicer guy. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. Appreciate it, Rover.
Hey, listen, even if I come up with a take you hate, I still hope you love me, man. Appreciate ya.
Oh, no, it's cool, man. It's cool.
Davis Webb, baby. I have my fair share of bad takes. Oh, dang. I appreciate it. These people are calling me, man. Great call. Thanks again.
All right, man. Thank you, man.
If only every caller could be like that guy. All right, great. Thank you so much. We're going to have another call here. This is crazy. Gosh, what is that number, man? Who's calling me right now? I'm trying to answer the dang call. That kid's going to watch one of my videos one day, and I'm not a genius at all. Here we go. We got a number in there. I'm sorry. There was another number that kept on getting ignored. Freaking call back. Let's go. Hello?
Hey, Rover, what up?
Hey, how you doing there? What's going on?
I'm good. I'm Nathan Hill.
Nate! Dude, I see you all the time on here, man. It's great to talk with you.
Oh, man, it's a rough day.
Nate, I'm not even a Bears fan. That's the most heartbreaking shit I've ever seen, man.
Oh, my. I was just destroyed after I saw that. Like, oh, my God. What was Nagy doing? Like, he played so conservative for the first 3 quarters.
Dude, and Eddie Jackson even in the game? I mean, what was he doing?
No, I got a notification said that he was active, and he never touched the field once.
It's almost like Matt Nagy was playing the game to lose because, like what were the explosive plays in the I'm trying to think of any big plays that the Bears had in the entire first half. Like, I'm trying to think of even what...
There's literally zero. No, I can agree with you more. We literally had no big play in the first half.
Dude, it makes zero sense because against the Vikings last week, Mitchell Trubisky was playing like he's the most like he's the ultimate gunslinger. He's always throwing it down the field. I mean, you remember the game against Tampa Bay, like where Mitchell was great.
Man, sure.
You guys always play from ahead, and that's the point. Like, if the Bears had the lead, we could have ran the clock out, or Chicago could have, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then that one offensive drive where there's like, 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter where we got sacked 2 times. And then I'm just like, what are we doing? Like, at least run the ball and then take a shot downfield. A couple first downs and we could have won the game, you know? Like,
Oh yeah. Oh, that was you're very right. I mean, everybody, like the clickbait people are all going to talk about Cody, Steve Bartman, all these stupid ass jokes. I'm sick of it. The game was right there. 7 minutes left. You get the ball. It's 5 points, right? If we get a couple first downs, we drive down there, build it to 8, and we feel great. An 8-point lead is great.
Yeah.
Hey, Nathan, they tried to go to Allen Robinson one time in the first half, remember? And the ball was out of bounds. They literally took no deep shots.
Wait, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt, man. Go ahead.
Oh, because that was the only big play we had in the first half, but it didn't even count, Like, that was the only time we only threw the ball past 20 yards the whole first half.
I had a question for you. When Josh Bellamy caught that ball around the right sideline where Mitchell placed it perfectly, were you almost frustrated to see that? Because you're like, holy shit, this is so easy. Were you almost frustrated,
If we would have done that the first half, we could have blown them out easily. If we would have done that the whole game, it wouldn't even be a game, Like, I don't understand. They have a terrible secondary because they're all banged up and all that, and we have solid receivers. So if we, double move them the whole game, we win.
It's that simple. Everybody's like, Mitchell's not that good. Like, you're overrating Mitchell's abilities. Like, hell no. I saw him dropping dimes all day long. The sad part is you guys are so much better than that dang team. You guys are.
I know. And then everyone was saying, "Oh, Mitch didn't have a great of a game." I mean, that was his first postseason game. I feel like he had over 300 yards and a touchdown. That's a great game for a first ever postseason game.
Dude, it's great. If Jordan Howard would have broken that run, there's so many things. This team needs to. Matt Nagy especially. He coached like Andy Reid. He needs to get a killer instinct. But I'll tell you. I mean, you guys are golden next year. You better get a bye next year, man, and make this thing easier next year, dude.
For sure, and we'll actually have a kicker.
Robbie Gould was in the stands, man. Hire him back, right?
Yeah, for real.
Dude, what did you? Yeah, you know what? At least for you, this is how I would spin it. There's no guarantee you're going to LA and winning. Like, it could have been so much worse if it was a conference title game or something.
Oh, yeah, NFC Championship game that could have happened, and oh my, that would have been 20 times worse. So,
how much better is Mitch than Jay Cutler for you, Nathan?
Oh my God, I love Mitch. I like his mobility way more. He has a great arm. He's some inaccurate here and there, but we can work on it this offseason. But I love him so much better than Jay Cutler. Oh my God.
Unbelievable team guy. I still believe in. I was so harsh on Matt Nagy. Like, that was like all clickbait, kind of fun, just cursing, whatever. But I still love Matt Nagy. That's the point. And the thing I love about your coach is how he gets even when he brings in Khalil Mack. Nobody understands what that does for the chemistry. You guys have the best chemistry, club dub and everything. Matt Nagy has the best chemistry out of anybody in the whole league.
That's why I think I love this team so much, because I don't think anyone's leaving this offseason or anytime soon, because it is the only way people want to go there,
Nathan, did you know that Nick Foles was in Kansas City and he said before the game Matt Nagy would literally let Nick drive his car, and Nick Foles was a backup quarterback in Kansas City?
Well, I didn't know that.
That just shows you how great of a person you guys have as your head football coach, and you guys have one of the best fan bases, and today was so painful. It was all on the coaching. You guys were the better football team. Oh, I wanted to ask you this one question, and then of course you can hang around or something, Nathan. Thank you
for sure.
Thanks for commenting on my vids and everything that you do. I wanted to ask you on that final possession. I think the game came down to that 3rd and 11. Where they had Alshon Jeffrey in that triangle formation, and he was able to get that wide open first down. Do you think Vic Fangio needed to be more aggressive on that final drive where the Eagles scored?
Of course. I mean, it's 3rd and 11. They're at the 15, 20-yard line of us. Why not bring Turayson and Roquan, right? Shoot the gaps, make Nick hurry and throw it that he doesn't want to, and see if we can force him to make a mistake. That just blows my mind. We blitzed, I think about 10 times the whole game. And I don't get it.
It's almost like it was a rig job, man.
And then Khalil Mack was absolutely shut down. I mean, he had like 2 quarterback hits, but we give props to the Eagles line, man. They showed up against the pass. I mean,
oh yeah, the Eagles were good today. Their defensive line was great. Like when they stuffed that one play, like with the 7-minute mark. But you're absolutely right. The play calling needed to be more aggressive because like Nick Foles, when he was pressured, dude, he threw up that lollipop to Adrian Amos. He sucks first pressure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And then we blitzed that one, and he had Zach Ertz, he overthrew him by a mile.
Oh yeah, that ugly out of bounds play. Like I'm sure if Nick Foles didn't convert that last drive, all of Philadelphia radio would say like Nick Foles is overrated and they would just
exactly. That's what they all would say.
Yeah,
and like how Philly fans are crazy that we went and trade Carson Wentz for this guy and all that.
Yes, do me a favor. Just please do not, watch. Just don't watch that damn kick again. That's the most nauseating thing in the freaking world, man.
I understand that.
But Nathan, I hope these Saints win, and God, I hate the next year attitude because you probably live in the Midwest. You have such a kind fan base that everybody's like next year. It's just like, I don't know how shitty Rodgers is going to be again. Like, I hate these opportunities, bro. I hate them.
Exactly. Like, it was just one bad year. I feel like for the Packers because the coaching was really bad. And then Vikings, Kirk Cousins is the lost cause. Like, you just wasted $84 million on a guy who can't perform under the bright lights, So, like, I don't feel – I feel like Rodgers is going to be really good next year. So, if they get the right guy.
Right on, Nathan. Thanks so much, man. I really enjoyed the chat.
Oh, you're welcome, man.
Yeah, call in soon, man. See ya. Nathan Hill, one of the best people out there. He's so intelligent. I wish he'd make a YouTube channel, Nathan Hill. Should have told him that as well. Great Bears fan. This is my guy here is calling in. Thanks so much. Hello?
Hey, is this Rover Sports?
It is, dude. Thank you so much. I've seen your number, man. I've known you've been trying to call in. Thanks so much, man, for calling.
Well, you probably don't exactly know who I am, but I am Gangrene David. I know a lot of content creators. I know Bad Dog, the Entertainer, and of course, my fellow Jets fan, Jet Central.
Yes.
And I watched your little film review on Sam Darnold, and personally, I like Sam Darnold. I have to disagree with a lot about what you said. I know you don't like Sam Darnold, and I know you don't trust him because of the turnovers he had at USC. But here's the thing, though, about Sam Darnold, and I said this throughout the offseason. I mean, when you have a quarterback like him, who's a blue-collar guy, he's 21 years old and he's young, and a guy, I think, he's a guy that really needs a good pocket for him to work with. Because if you look at him at USC in his second year, he got sacked 29 times. His offensive line looks awful. And when you have that offensive line play for a quarterback like him, it's going to force him to rush his throws, which causes him to throw interceptions. That's what happened a lot this year. But, however, he regrouped. He came off that foot injury. You saw the offensive line not only play better, but you also saw him extend a lot of plays with his feet, and you saw him making a lot of great throws. So, I personally expected out of him what I expected. I expected a lot of ups and downs from him. I expected the growing pains and learning curve of a rookie quarterback, and I think he's going to be good. I have a lot of faith in him.
Yeah, it's just like with Sam Darnold, like I like prospects who have like huge upsides, like guys that just can make like second level throws, like a Josh Allen arm. So I just like kind of tend towards the arm strength. And dude, I totally understand. Like I even rewatched some of the Sam Darnold videos, and some of the times I'm very critical or even like sound like I'm hating when I project how he's gonna do. I don't think Sam will be elite, and if he is, I'm going to be totally dead wrong. He did have that great play against Buffalo, and a good point to back up your assertion is that you can't really, blame Sam with Todd Bowles right now. So if he gets an elite offensive mind, you might see a different Sam Darnold. Again, I'm not just going to go back and believe that he's suddenly going to be awesome, but you guys made the right decision, obviously, by getting Todd out of there. And now you guys are probably going to hire Mike McCarthy or some veteran coach. And Sam is going to listen to Mike McCarthy, unlike Aaron. And I think that's what you guys are going to do. What should you do at head coach? And what do you think is going to end up happening here soon, Gangrene? What do you think?
Personally, I think at this point, there's not exactly a lot of head coaches out there in the market who I would just be like, okay, you know what, go grab him right now. Go grab him immediately. Go aggressively pursue him. Like, go grab him right now. But I think it would probably have to be Mike McCarthy. He would probably be the safest choice. I know he's gotten a lot of heat for the questionable time management and game management decisions he had recently in Green Bay, and his relationship with Rodgers. But however, they're all human beings, and not everything can go smoothly, not everything can go perfect. And if you look at Mike McCarthy's track record, well, first of all, he'd be an instant up here over Todd Bowles. Don't get me wrong about that. Another thing about Mike McCarthy is not only has he worked with Aaron Rodgers throughout his entire career, he's hired offensive staff to sort of develop the Green Bay Packers into one of the more stellar offenses in football. Right. And if you look at the kinds of talent that he's developed and worked with, like Randall Cobb and Devontae Adams, and also resurrected Brett Favre's career,
yeah,
you can kind of look at that and see that this dude could possibly hire an offensive staff that could open up the playbook.
Jordy Nelson. Yeah, I know that. I know Giants fans hate Ben McAdoo. It's funny. I talked to a lot of Jet fans, or a few, and they don't hate Ben McAdoo as much as Giants fans do. I mean, the one thing is, like, do you want Sam Darnold throwing it like 40 times like Aaron Rodgers, like the short passing game? Because that's what you might get.
Well, I mean, as long as he gets a chance to throw the ball. Because if you look at our offensive coordinator, Jeremy Bates, I think he waited a little bit too long to sort of open up the playbook for Sam Darnold. I think he was limiting Sam Darnold a little bit with his throws because I saw every snap for the New York Jets this season, almost every snap. And I saw a lot of typical run, pass plays. The play call was just way too predictable. They had less opportunities to throw the football.
Right.
But however, I think with the offensive staff Mike McCarthy would hire, it would show that he could have confidence in his young quarterback.
Gangrene, I want to say this to you. If Sam Darnold does great with like Cliff Kingsbury or McCarthy does great, I am not going to give you the excuse of, oh, well, the coach, set everything up. Like, I'm a Jared Goff, like doubter as well. And when Jared Goff did well, I'm not like it's all Sean McVay, because that's not fair to Sam Darnold. So maybe Darnold can pick his way through this league a little bit with this next staff. And so you still believe Sam Darnold's going to be a completely an elite quarterback. Where's the Sam Darnold comparison with you?
Well, actually, I can't exactly say he's going to be elite next year, but I think right now he could mold into that. I mean, he's 21 years old. He has his entire career ahead of him. He could be in the NFL for a long time for all we know. He has a lot of chances to become an elite quarterback. So now we fire a head coach. Now we're hiring this new head coach. Hopefully we get rid of Jeremy Bates because, no offense, he's just an awful offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
But if I were to kind of do a comparison to Darnold, I would say he could kind of extend plays like Rodgers, because you see a lot of Aaron Rodgers plays where he's rolling out, he's extending the pocket, he's extending the play with his feet. I saw a lot of that out of Sam Darnold throughout the last few weeks, where you saw him running around with his feet in the pocket, and you see him leading the receiver, developing chemistry with young guys like Chris Herndon and Robbie Anderson. So I could maybe compare him to Aaron Rodgers.
Sure.
But I could also another thing that intrigues me about him is his ball placement. Now, obviously going back into USC, right? When I was actually looking at this young kid, a lot of his throws have spot on ball placement.
Right.
I think there's a rare case where you say he overthrew this guy or he underthrew this guy. Like,
Yeah.
you see the ball going right into the receiver's hands. And I can compare that to Matt Ryan in a way, because if you look at Matt Ryan and you see him throwing the ball to guys like Calvin Ridley, Mohamed Sanu, and Julio Jones, the ball placement is right there.
You know what?
Accurate.
I love the opinion. I kind of see a lot of what you're saying, man. We got a bunch of calls this hour. I want to thank you so much for calling in, Gangrene David, and I'm also going to shout out your YouTube channel, man. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much for the time, man. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I definitely talk about Jets football, just like Jets Central.
Yep.
And I can't wait to see what happens with this new head coach and
Me
new
too,
free agents.
Me too, bro.
It was nice meeting you.
Yep.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you, man. I have a lot of great things about you.
Thank you.
From Bad Dog.
Thank you.
And from Ian.
Yep,
It was an honor,
hanging
man.
out with those guys, man. They're awesome. I'm going to bounce, dude. I'll see you, man. Thank you.
Take care, man.
All right, guys, that was Gangrene David. I'm sorry. Keep hitting the phone lines. Keep hitting the lines. Keep hitting the lines, man. Let's get in these calls. I'm sorry if I, had you guys idle there. Come on, let's keep hitting it. Keep calling in. I'm really sorry that I wasn't able to get to some of y'all's calls. I hope you guys will try to call back in to the show. But Gangrene David's a great dude, really good YouTuber as well. So I'm here, I'm hanging out. I'll address the chat. You guys can feel free to call the dang number that's on the screen. We got to call in good. Let's see if we can hit it. Hello, thanks so much for trying to call in. I really appreciate it.
Hey, man, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, dude? Thanks for calling in.
No problem, man. Hi, how you doing? Well, I love your videos, man. I always watch, but me as a Jets fan, I just wanted to ask a question from our point of view.
Absolutely. Go ahead. I'm glad. A lot of Jets fans hate me. I totally get it. But go ahead, dude.
Yeah, dude. You know how the whole Todd Bowles controversy has been going on since we, let him go. I just wanted to know your opinion on it since we've been interviewing all these head coaches like Adam Gase, Chris Richards. We just finished an interview with Chris Richards today. Mike McCarthy. I just wanted to know your opinion on who do you think would be the best fit for the Jets.
Great point, dude. And first of all, you make it seem like firing Todd was a controversy. Like, I was totally on board with getting rid of him, man. That stone statue on the sideline, man. Come on. You got to get rid of Todd Bowles. Adam Gase is exactly like Todd Bowles. They are both blank personalities. I don't like that. I don't like Jim Caldwell. Dude, Chris Richard, I know that I've said his name so much. Do yourself a favor and watch Richard interviews, my man. You will laugh, you will smile. Go to YouTube, Google his name. He is a guy that's an unbelievable leader of men, and I'm sure being a Jets fan, you love Jamal Adams. I'm a Giants fan, and I love Jamal Adams and his attitude, right? So, I look at Mike McCarthy personally as kind of an old, boring retread hire. So I would look for, believe it or not, you guys should interview Matt LaFleur. You should interview Zach Taylor. These are two young offensive minds. Cliff Kingsbury. And
Cliff.
Dude, even the Baylor coach I like, Matt Rule. Who's your list? What are you thinking?
Honestly, I was like, when I found out we were interviewing Gase, I was not happy about that at all. And I usually, I'm always keeping up with the reports, and I see that they're like many fans are head on with Gase, and I'm not really liking that.
Yeah.
So, I really, really would like Richard. Honestly, I've seen what he does. You're right, his personality. He looks like he would be great on that position. But I also saw Jamal tweet about that he really wants Kingsbury, so that would be really great. He's a young guy, reminds me kind of like a Sean McVay. So that would be awesome to have on our team,
The one thing about Chris Richard, and I'll tell you why they're never going to hire him, because he's a defensive guy. And listen to Chris Johnson, listen to Mike McCagnon. All they talk about is freaking Sam Darnold. Every presser's with Sam, so they're going to try their best to accompany Sam with an offensive line.
Yeah.
I hate Adam Gase, though, man. I mean, I don't know why Jets fans want him.
I honestly don't know why either. When I found out they were interviewing him, I was not on board at all with that. I'm still not on board with that.
Let me ask you a question. Mike McCarthy, would you be pumped? What would your emotion be to that hire?
Honestly, I know a lot of people would probably disagree with me, but I would be so pumped just because of what he's done for the Packers. I don't know, like, I've been reading, like, I saw his record, and he has a lot of wins with them, more than losses. He's gotten them to many playoff appearances, got them a Super Bowl. So, you know, yeah, about his attitude, but, I mean, then again, I'm looking at Belichick also, and he has, like, a blank, but the guy's a genius. So, you know, as long as we have someone who can actually, like, steer this team straight, that would be amazing. I just, you know, It's all about personality, too, but anything that would win, make us win.
Hey, do you check out Jet Central, too?
Yeah, and that's why I see you always hang out with Jet Central, so I would ask you a question about it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. You want to say your name on here?
Yeah, my name's Christian. I'm actually from Jersey, but I'm living in Texas right now. But, you know, always got to keep up with my teams, always.
Heck yeah, man. Texas is a beautiful state, too. And, dude, thanks so much for calling in. I totally get Mike. Thanks so much, man. I totally get Mike McCarthy. I totally get why you'd like him. I think it'd be a little bit blander, but I kind of respect it, dude, because I think that it has the lowest possible chance of failure, though. It's not going to be a failure.
Yeah, exactly. Major upgrade from Todd Bowles, you know.
Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Awesome. Thank you.
Great call there from my man Christian out in Texas. I appreciate him tuning in. Jets people, it's funny. You guys hammer me, but, you know, you guys are good people as well. Love calling into the show. I'll address the chat. Yo, son, you want to talk about the Cleveland Browns? Call into the show, my man. I know I'm getting to a call right here. A lot of it depends on when you call in. Hello? Hello? You're on with Rover Sports. All right. Hey, you're on with Rover. Hello? Oh, no!
Hey, this is David Neal. How you doing?
I thought I dropped you, man. How are you?
No, it's good. How are you doing tonight?
Dude, I thought I dropped you because some of these times you get callers, I'll just flip in and flip out. But what's your name again? I'm sorry I missed it.
David Neal.
David Neal. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. Even though I'm a Broncos fan, you know, I still enjoyed the playoffs this week. But wanted to get your opinion on what went on with the Ravens. With Lamar Jackson, I was really surprised that maybe they didn't, like, almost sort of like go kind of like how the Broncos did a few years ago with Tim Tebow, where they just freaking threw for like 300 yards against the Steelers. But it was kind of crazy that I didn't see John Harbaugh pull him at all, you know, halfway through that game. You got RG3 and Flacco on the bench, but just wanted to get your opinion on kind of the mess that it seems the Ravens are in. With their quarterback situation.
David, I've been saying, you know, for a long time, like, I don't know why they drafted Lamar Jackson in the first round, because at Louisville he made like 2 impressive throws the entire year. And, you know, maybe I just don't think he can change. I don't think that he can change himself into an elite passer like at this stage. You know what I mean? So I think the Ravens are kind of screwed, honestly, to be honest, you know, because I look at Lamar Jackson and he's your first-round pick, but I think RG3 is a better player. That defense is still fire, but I don't think that the Ravens have the guts to, like, challenge Lamar Jackson right now. What do you think about the situation?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's pretty crazy that Ozzie Newsome decided to make a pick like that, and for John Harbaugh to just, I don't know, for him to go along with it. It doesn't really make sense for I feel like him long term. So I feel like it was kind of a selfish move by Ozzie Newsome, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. I guess next year, but I think he had 2 quarterbacks that were on the bench today that probably could have got it done for the Ravens.
David, what I wanted to say to you is, you know, the one thing about Tebow and his time in Denver, like, Lamar Jackson still went 6-2. He still was great at controlling the clock. He still beat the Chargers. He beat all these teams. So it's going to take 2 more crappy 4-12 seasons for them to make a switch. So if I'm next year, if I'm Baltimore, this guy honestly led you to the playoffs. Roll with him an entire year more, maybe 2 more years. And if he turns into Blake Bortles, he does. You know what I mean? But to answer your question about John Harbaugh, it's funny that you're a Denver fan. If you follow the Denver Twitter people out there on the NFL, your Broncos want to hire John Harbaugh, literally make a trade. And what I was going to tell you is that the Baltimore owner last year admitted to the public that he was going to fire John Harbaugh. So Harbaugh was already on his last leg. He was in last stand mode anyway.
Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. And I can totally see it from the Ravens' perspective of just going ahead and playing him. I mean, on the flip side, being a Broncos fan, I kind of just wish that they would have just named Paxton Lynch the starter and seen where they would have gone for 2 years instead of going through the mess that we've been through, building an offense around him. But, I mean, that's a whole other story to talk about. But,
well, David, you want John Harbaugh in a trade? Who do you want out in Denver?
Honestly, I am fine with kind of with a retread like Mike Munchak. This team does not have discipline at all, and I felt like those Titans rosters that he had, I feel like he did very well with them for the talent that was on those teams. So I would be fine with that, or someone like Zach Taylor. Of course, like everyone wants the new hot, young offensive genius or whatever, but we just need someone that can command some respect in the locker room, and the opposite of Vance Joseph. That'd be great.
Oh, man, Vance was just so over his head, just so many terrible decisions, and I want Case Keenum gone. I want Drew Lock coming into Denver, man, 1,000,000%, or Davis Webb. I want another quarterback other than Case Keenum.
Yeah, definitely. Just any sort of first-round quarterback, I'm okay with.
Right. You have the defense. You're not that far off. Like, everybody's anti-Elway. I'm not. I think Elway's awesome. He drafted Cortland Sutton, freaking Chubb. Maybe you don't like Elway, but I'm fine with John Elway.
No, I think he's I think he's made some great moves. I think he's made some dumb moves. But at the end of the day, we've had 2 Super Bowl appearances under him, and I think he's better than a lot of guys in the league. So I'll take him.
David, thanks so much for calling in the show, man. It means a lot.
Hey, thank you. Keep up the good work. Appreciate it.
All right, that was David Neal. Great caller. Should have his own channel. Smooth call-in voice, and appreciated the call as well. The phone lines are open. Feel free. Call into the show. I'll address the chat. I know Yo-Sun wants to talk about the New York Jets. Dwayne Haskins talked here. Anthony Davis is in the crib. Let's see if I can get this guy. How are you, man? Welcome into the show. Might be a girl. I don't know. Hello? Hello, you're on Rover Sports. You're on Rover Sports. How are you? Dang. What happens if it's a female? I always say, how are you, man? Could be a female. But that person, that dude should call back into the show. Who gives a crap like talking to me, man? I'm just, it shouldn't be a lot of pressure at all. Feel free to call into the dang show. Haskins to the dang Giants. I think I would take it eventually at this point. It would mean Dave Gettleman would like Dwayne Haskins. I'm also not opposed, actually. I'm kind of opening my mind to a whole sorts of stuff. Welcome into Rover Sports. How are you?
What's going on? My name's Ramon. How you been?
Hey, who is this again?
Ramon. How you doing?
Ramon, thanks so much for calling in. I'm doing good, dude.
I just want to get your quick thoughts on how Nick Foles did today. What's your thoughts on him? And, what do you think the odds are of the Eagles making a deep run in these playoffs and potentially getting back to the Super Bowl?
I think that Nick Foles is absolutely like a magical kind of quarterback that just never seems to lose games. I don't think Nick Foles is a great prospect at all, though, like as a free agent, because he doesn't move at all, and he sailed the ball out to Zach Ertz. So it was a great defense that he played today. I think Nick could even do better versus New Orleans, actually. They're starting Eli Apple, so Nick Foles is going to be able to hit some home run shots on, the Saints' defenders, actually. That Saints pass defense will be able to get after them. But the Eagles' offensive line, you saw how good Jason Peters was. Like, Nick Foles behind other offensive linemen, I don't believe he's that great of a player because he literally cannot escape. Like, you saw today some boneheaded, terrible throws from Nick Foles, but Foles is the clutchest quarterback, plays in a great system. Are you an Eagles fan?
No, I'm actually a Bronco fan.
What do you think of Foles? You think that those Eagles should keep Nick Foles?
Well, I mean, so you look at the potential of Carson Wentz, right? I mean, even before he got hurt last year, he was on track to win MVP last year. But at the same time, you look at the offense, it seems like it runs better with Nick Foles behind. It feels like the players play harder for Nick Foles. And then Alshon Jeffrey's more in the game when Nick Foles is in than when opposed to Carson Wentz. So, I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I would love to see Carson Wentz get traded to the Broncos, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't know.
The thing about Carson is he's younger. I've seen Nick Foles play terrible football before. Across a 16-game season, I don't know if Nick is going to be fantastic. Gosh, it's kind of harder for the Eagles. Like, I'll say this, man. The Saints game means everything. If he beats the New Orleans Saints, right, next week, he's on the precipice. If he lights up New Orleans, then he's too damn good to trade at that point. Like, if he throws for 400, because it's going to take a big offensive output to beat the Saints next week. If Nick Foles does that, then you can explore your options. You know what I'm saying? If he plays that well again.
Yeah, no, I think I 100% agree with you. I mean,
Yeah.
I think once Nick Foles gets going, man, he's one of the hardest quarterbacks to stop. He gets rolling, and that offense just seems unstoppable at times.
You bring up really interesting points, like, because Carson Wentz, I think, is kind of getting cocky, or Carson Wentz is just a frustrated person. If I was Carson, I'd be mad too to see like Nick go on and win a championship. The thing is about Nick Foles is he's not that expensive. And he lets Doug Peterson, he literally lets Doug Peterson, like, call the run plays, call every play. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he does not, like, force the ball into Zach Ertz, because Carson Wentz does not listen to Doug Peterson at all.
Well, yeah, it feels like the offense under Nick Foles seems a little bit more simple. I mean, and simple isn't bad, but it just seems like when Carson Wentz is in the game, that Doug Pearson is trying to, dial up these huge plays. But when Nick Foles is in, it seems like a really simple NFL offense that just gets the job done. 8, 9, 10-yard gains on throws, and this seems like a really more effective offense when Nick Foles is on the field.
It's an unbelievable question. It's really tough because Carson Wentz is so good. He's such an athletic guy. Luckily, it'll all play out in New Orleans. It'll all play out. I'm sorry I can't give you a more definitive answer on Nick Foles. I'm going to say this right now. It's tough because I also hate the Eagles, we both want Carson Wentz to go. It's hard to put myself in the Eagles' shoes. The safer move is keeping Carson. If Nick beats New Orleans, it's game over. I'll say that. That's my answer, Ramon.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Yeah, I think it's almost impossible to let Nick go, especially if he gets back to the NFC Championship. Yeah, I mean, look, freaking 2 months ago, this team was dead. Everyone was thinking, oh man, the Super Bowl slump and not going back to the playoffs. And then once Carson Wentz got hurt and Nick Foles came in, it was just a whole different mind change. Well,
the reason why nobody likes Nick Foles, man, is because he literally can't move at all, and he has to have like perfect blocking. That's why everyone's so down on the guy. So.
Well, yeah.
All right, Ramon, I appreciate you calling in, pal. Thanks so much.
All right, man. Thanks for having me. Go Broncos.
Yes, Ramon, big Broncos fan. 2 great Broncos people on the chat. Somebody can try to call in again to the show. I really appreciate it. A lot of Dwayne Haskins talk. I think Haskins... I think I could see the Raiders actually drafting Drew Lock because they're going to be down on him at the dang Senior Bowl. Oh, man, someone keeps trying to call into the show. I wonder if it's someone that I know trying to call into the dang show. So feel free to, again, call back in, and I'll try to get to y'all's points about the dang show. Troy, how are you, pal? Yeah, call. Hello, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, man?
Good. I'm actually new to your channel.
Oh, you're new to the channel?
Yeah, how you doing? I just started watching because my cousin told you about your channel.
Oh, thanks so much. I appreciate that. How are you, man? Like, what do you want to talk about today?
I was actually on Twitter just now, and I just saw, I don't know if you saw the kick that Cody Parkey hit. It was actually tipped by Traven Hester. Did you see that?
I actually just did see that. I think like Jeff Schwartz or somebody tweeted that out.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how they're going after this kid. And I was watching that he scored 9 of their 15 points, and he's getting so much hate over everything. Probably wasn't even his fault, you know.
Well, Cody Parkey hasn't been good this year, though. He's been the liability.
That's true.
He's been a liability. But dude, if you, Cody Parkey, like if you're him, that's unbelievable news for him. If that ball got tipped, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Must be a huge relief for him, right?
Yeah, but I said on my video that the game should never come down the game should never just come down to one play. Like the Bears in that football game were not aggressive at all offensively. It was a coaching problem. And the Eagles, first off, if the special teams of the Eagles didn't completely fail in the final minute, Cody's not even lining that up.
Right.
So I hate when that stuff kind of happens, but dude, it's a 60-minute game, so you know.
Yeah, it was, I thought it was a pretty even game, but I don't know. As an Eagles fan, I'd expect more, especially now that they're going against the Saints next week.
Yeah, but you should be thrilled. Do you think that like the Eagles are a magical team?
Oh, for sure. I honestly love Wentz, but I don't think this would have happened if Wentz was playing.
Hell no, because by the way, when you guys went to New Orleans, okay, you guys quit that game, 41-9 loss.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
So
after that game, I think that turned around. That turned our season around.
I'm gonna say something, and this is a theory. Do you want to give your name out on here?
Sure. My name's David.
David. So this is my opinion. I think that Carson Wentz, like after the Super Bowl, was pressing. I think he doesn't let Doug call the plays. Like I think that he always opts out of the running play to hit Zach Ertz. And I think that the rest of the team, I think Carson Wentz is kind of more arrogant than last year, where Nick Foles is the leader of this team, and everybody loves buying in with Nick Foles a lot more than Carson Wentz right now.
Right. I just feel like with Foles, he has more targets, whereas with Wentz, he just sticks to just a couple.
So are we keeping Nick Foles then? Eagles keeping Nick?
Oh, I hope so. I've loved Nick Foles ever since he got drafted, to be honest.
Yeah, big kid, can make like pretty much every single throw down the field, and I mean, I'm a Giant guy. I have trouble pulling for the Eagles. The fact that you beat Houston, right? The guys like broken ribs. The fact that the Vikings, the fact that the Bears let you guys in. That kick, I mean, you'll never see a kick like end up like that. It's freaky mojo. It's freaky stuff, dude, that your team's going on right now.
Yeah, I love it.
Hey, thanks so much for the call. I appreciate ya.
Take care.
Great call there from another David. Wow, a loud background. How are you? Welcome in the Rover. Hello. Got a loud background. Bradley, let's talk national championship. I got Alabama tomorrow, man. Trevor Lawrence versus Tua Tagovailoa. I like Tua Tagovailoa. I like Alabama better Clemson, Alabama is going to be a toss-up because the defensive line of Clemson is so much better than Oklahoma, but yet the offense of Tua Tagovailoa is going to shred that Clemson secondary. Nick Saban's going to beat Dabo once again. This year you could have had the BCS and you would have gotten the same two teams in the playoff. If you picked Clemson, it's not that big of a hot take, really, because these are very even teams. I look at they're so even that I look at the quarterback of Trevor Lawrence, right? And I think he's not as good as Tagovailoa. He's too young to play amazing, amazing football. I'm taking Tua over him. And then Quinnen Williams and Deontay Thompson on the defensive side. Quinnen Williams is the best player maybe in the whole game, and Clemson's guys are all out for defensive reasons. Let's take Alabama, bro. Let's take Alabama, Bradley. Yeah, the Steelers, losing out this season, and now with Antonio Brown, it's a dumpster fire over there. Doug Lass, I appreciate you, man. I try to be a prophet. If Davis Webb ends up hitting, that'll be the greatest profit bet I've ever made. I don't believe in your guy Sam, but maybe Sam will do awesome for y'all, Doug. And who do you want, Doug? I know you love Jim Harbaugh. You'll probably like Mike McCarthy, too. The Allen Hurns injury was absolutely brutal. Pray for the guy. It was just like Kevin Ware. It was a horrendous injury. Nick Foles was all right in Kansas City. Never really gotten a chance. The guy's actually never failed. Never failed. So we have a lot of comments, some on Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens today. A disappointing outing, obviously, for Baltimore. You know what, guys? I'm going to be hosting more of a call-in-based show. This is a lot of fun talking football with y'all right now. We have good people in the chat. David, my man. Yep, Luis Perez, man. That's another one. Welcome in the Rover Sports. How are you? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hi, you're on Rover Sports. How are you? Can you hear me? Do you want to talk? You want to talk NFL football?
Yes.
All right, let's talk some football then.
Should the Giants wait for Tua, or should they just go out for Dwayne Haskins?
The problem with tanking for Tua is that Pat Shurmur will then get fired. The New York Giants could try to trade picks back in this draft to get 2 picks next year to possibly make that happen. We could trade our best player, Odell Beckham, and try to get the ammunition to get Tagovailoa. I just doubt it will happen, man. So I think Dwayne Haskins is more realistic because Tua will be prized possession by everybody in the NFL. What do you think? You want Dwayne or Tua?
I'm a Jets fan, so.
You don't care. You just hate me for Sam Darnold, don't ya?
Yeah, hopefully he's not a bust.
Thank you so much for calling in, pal. Did you enjoy the playoffs?
Yeah.
All right, so did I. I can't wait for next week. Feel free to call me anytime.
Okay.
Have a great night. Thanks. Welcome into Rover Sports. How are you?
Good. What's going on, bud?
Hey, how are you?
Let's talk about the game next week. I think this week games are so-so, but I think the fireworks will start next week with LA and the Patriots.
You know what? You probably watch college basketball too. When people say this March Madness is going to be unbelievable, or people say it's going to be the best wild card weekend ever, it always lets down.
Right. It's going to be a bigger impact, and with the Saints being upset and the Rams, I'm calling that an NFC.
NFC East championship game?
The saying that the Saints are going to get upset and the Rams are going to get upset. And then New England's going down and Chiefs are going to the championships. So.
Oh, okay, okay. That's very interesting. I don't see Phillip Rivers beating Tom Brady. I don't see Anthony Lynn out coaching Bill Belichick. So I disagree with you on that opinion. Kansas City, I'm going to take Kansas City as well over the Colts. That's going to be a toss-up game. I love your Dallas Cowboys prediction. The Cowboys are my Super Bowl team. I'm going to go with New Orleans though. I'm going to go with New Orleans though. I think Drew Brees is going to wax that secondary next week.
Well, we'll have to see, but I think it's just going to be a shakeup. So, with different, teams in the championship this year. So out with the old, in with the new.
You would love to see that. Would you love to see the Patriots lose and have a different champion?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm tired of they got to go. It's the same old. So we need some new fresh blood in there, young quarterbacks and some Patrick Mahomes, definitely.
Was your team in the playoffs?
No, that will be next week. Chiefs, Kansas City.
Oh, yeah, let's go. Biggest Pat Mahomes fan here, man.
Right on, man. But we'll see what happens, man. I think luck's going to run out of luck, and, who knows what happens after that.
Yeah, you guys are getting so disrespected this year, and Pat Mahomes is a different animal than Alex Smith. And it's been a long road at Arrowhead. I don't know how long you've been watching the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. It would be so nice to break the curse of that Joe Montana year for Kansas City.
Hey, I was at in Indianapolis when they came back and beat us. So I think Andy Reid's going to be dialed up, definitely for sure. And he's not playing to. He's going to have his foot on the gas, and he's going to be ready to go. So,
I want a new Andy Reid. That can't. I'm frustrated by the way the Chiefs have lost, not even being a Chiefs fan, and I want to see Patty do it. I want to see Patrick complete it. You guys against the Colts. Your defense, everybody is saying how this isn't a good defense, but your defensive line has Dee Ford and Chris Jones, I think, out of Mississippi State. He was an unbelievable pick for you guys. So how do you think the defense is going to hold up next week?
I think they're going to be pretty good. I think we got Eric Berry's going to be playing a full game, and we got the two rookie corners, and Ward, he's fast, so he's going to be on TY, and he's just going to be running with them. I mean, he's running with Tyreek Hill, so he knows what speed is, and he's just going to have to, stay with them. And definitely our linebackers are coming on at the right time, and they're going to be hitting Mac as soon as he comes off the line. Mm-hmm. And Luck's going to have pressure in his face all game long. So definitely think that Patrick Mahomes is going to, light their defense up. Mm-hmm. And throw bomb after bomb. So it's probably going to be, it might be a shootout, but I think that our defense is coming to play. I think we're clicking just right time, in the right time. So, but
yeah. So you want to say your name on here, man?
Yeah, Ray. Argo.
Wade. W-A-D-E?
No, Ray. R-A-Y.
Ray. I got you, man. So, Ray, thanks so much. I want to get to Arrowhead someday. It seems like a great time, man. Call in anytime I have this call-in show, man. I appreciate you.
Let me know, man. We'll party.
Let's go. Yeah. Give me a dang ticket, all right? Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right, bye.
Ray. Sugar Ray calling in from KC Mo. Oh, Nathan, dude, that was such a great call, man. It was great to hear you, and David as well. I really appreciate you guys calling into the show. It's so much fun talking with other NFL people and knowledgeable NFL people. Thank you, Stephen. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe, just like The Entertainer. Hit that thumbs up. I have the NFC team. I still have Dallas. I think Dallas is magical. I think they're getting slept on real good. Hey, what's up? Welcome into Rover Sports.
Hey, Spence, how's it going, bro?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm doing good, my man. Finally got a chance to get in there.
Yeah, what's your name?
This is G-Man 409.
G-Man 409. Yes, I always see you commenting, man. It's great to talk.
Yeah, man, I'm always following your channel.
Oh yeah. What did you think of the NFL playoffs?
Rover. You know, if you ever watching the playoffs, I'm here in Texas, man. So I'm hearing all these Cowboy fans. Their heads are blown up right now. They think they're going all the way.
I'm in Philadelphia, so I only hear Eagles fans. I've never really met Dallas people, and you know, I'm sure that if I grew up in Dallas, though, I might not like the Cowboys at all. I might be like you.
It's horrible here. I'm from New York, but I moved down here to Texas, so it's hard being a New York fan over here. But I always tell them they ain't gonna go nowhere.
So if they won, it would be a nightmare.
Oh, it'd be horrible. And then Philly's still in it. It's just like an NFC nightmare for us right now.
How about Cowboys Eagles coming to freaking Texas? Would that be a night? That would be the biggest nightmare in the world, wouldn't it?
That would be crazy. And the crazy thing about it is that it could happen because I do see Philly giving New Orleans a good shot, and I do see Dallas playing a good game against LA.
I do too. I'm worried about Nick Foles. Like I want Drew Brees to carve up Philly, but I hate the Eagles, man, because they never freaking die. Like
I know. That field goal miss. That's Eagles luck right there. I was like, how does that happen?
You'll never see a kick like that again. It's the most painful thing ever. I don't know about you. I know you live around all Cowboys people, but I'd love to see. I wouldn't mind. If it was Cowboys-Eagles, I'm 100% a Cowboy fan that week.
Yeah, definitely. I guess so, because we can't have Philly 2 years in a row.
With Nick, another parade. I live outside of Philly. Another parade. And the worst thing is casual people that don't watch football that are screaming and yelling in a bar about the Eagles.
That's the bandwagon fans.
It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. But G-Man 409, man, who do you want the Giants to draft?
I know everybody's saying. Honestly, what I think we got to work on the line, bro. We got to work on it because it doesn't do us no good to get us a Haskins at 6 or any other or Locke if we don't have no line for him to play behind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We definitely need to work on that line, and I would say I guess go pass rush first round, maybe second round go with the linemen.
Yeah, these quarterbacks are so risky. You know, even Dwayne Haskins is really risky. It's not a can't miss guy. Believe it or not, I've kind of actually, and I'm kind of admitting this to you first, and I might even make a whole video about it. I've kind of entertained in my mind actually signing Joe Flacco to a cheap deal. And loading up on defense completely and having a cheap free agent quarterback. I don't hate Joe Flacco. I don't hate his skill set at all. His personality and his heart sometimes is in question. But I don't know if I would hate that if Joe Flacco came in.
I mean, I think he's still got an arm on him. I mean, he's a little bit more mobile than Eli. He's like what kind of reminds me of Eli, the way that they play. He's not too mobile, but I'm pretty sure that he can probably move a little more than him.
And, dude, people are saying Joe Flacco is Eli Manning. He's not. He's like 4 years younger. Like, it's totally different.
Yeah, he's younger. Yeah, he got a couple more years in him, I think. You know, he just had bad luck. Lamar Jackson caught fire, and he had to take the bench, you know. They had to ride with the hot arm.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, I kind of wanted Eli to come back. I kind of said it would be sad if he went, but right now, I'm okay with it. You know, I'm okay with Eli going right now.
Yeah.
All right. What about you? What about you? You want Eli back?
Like I said, man, if we don't fix that line, it don't matter who's back there. You know. And we gotta, if we don't matter who's back there. I mean, Eli, I think he might have one more year in him, but I think it's time for an upgrade, bro. I mean, we got too much offensive power on there with Odell, Ingram, Barkley, Shep. I think it's time for us to get someone back there a little younger that can move out the pocket and, give us a different look. I mean, we've had the same look for like 15 years, ground and pound, and that's not working for us no more. We got to switch it up, I think,
Yeah, hey, G-Man 409, please call back if I do another show. It was great talking.
Yeah, I got you, buddy. It's hard for me to get in there at first, but I got in there. It was great talking to you, man. Like I said, I follow all your channels, Rover Sports, Insomnia, you and Entertainer. You guys are great, man. I appreciate all the work y'all do for
it was tough with all the other callers, but that means a heck of a lot, man. Keep coming back. I appreciate you. I'll see ya.
All right, man. Take it easy, man.
All right, that's gonna do it for the Skype call-ins tonight, guys. I had a great time talking with all of you tonight. I had a good time addressing the chat as well. I know that we have David Neal in the house. I know Dougie Lass is here. I know Mike Morena is here. I know Lalo Paz likes the Rams. I don't know if he likes the Rams, but everybody's sleeping on those Rams. National championship's going to be tomorrow. I'm entertaining the Flacco idea. Antonio Brown, maybe he goes to the 49ers. Being a Giants fan, like Antonio Brown, he produces every single year, and I think he's better than Odell Beckham. He just backs it up. Like, even though he talks, he can back it up. And you have Richard Sherman, you would have Antonio Brown. It certainly is a risk bringing in Antonio Brown because he's very vocal. And I don't know if Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't know if you want that vocalness on the offensive side of the football. And the teams that are left, I mean, the Eagles have Alshon Jeffrey. He's a quiet personality. You have New Orleans. The Rams have Brandon Cooks, not the best wide receiver corps at all with Cooper Kupp going down. Dallas has Amari Cooper, who also is not at all like a diva kind of wide receiver. Like Antonio Brown is more diva-ish than Amari Cooper's not at all. Amari Cooper totally is very a team guy, very relatively low-key kind of wide receiver. Who else is in the dang playoffs? T.Y. Hilton's in the playoffs. DeAndre Hopkins is out. Diva wide receivers, no thanks. Pie Guy, thanks so much. I wonder if that video will blow up, that Bears reaction video, man. David, thanks so much for coming in. David Lopez, even though you're an Eagle guy, I appreciate you coming into the stream. So I'm going to bounce. It was a good time talking with y'all tonight. Thank you, guys. Got me through the evening. We have Monday now, and I think divisional weekend, I think that is the best time of the NFL season, of the year. So, again, it was a blast, guys. Thanks so much for hanging with. So, Steven, you're great. Thanks. I agree. The call-ins were great. I want to thank everybody. All right. I'll see y'all. Thanks so much. I'm going to retitle this vid, too. It'll look even better. All right, y'all. See ya. Bye.